Hello, welcome to another video. I'm Seazar and today I'm creating Aphrodite from Lore Olympus on Webtoon. It's a webtoon created by Rachel Smythe, and my two previous videos that I made were Zeus and Hecate, also from Lore Olympus. So like I said, today I'm creating Aphrodite and I wanted to try a third style of recording the videos and recording the audio. So this time I actually went in and I recorded the whole process of making Aphrodite separately, and then now I'm doing an audio voiceover, which it's the first time I'm doing it, so I'm really curious how it's going to work out, and I'm also using a different microphone. So lots of new aspects to this. I'm really curious. As you can see, I'm just working on the features of Aphrodite's face, and actually this process in real time took me so long. So this is 3 times the speed that we were watching it at, and I think in total creating her took me a bit over 3 hours, because I ended up going back into it at a later time to change the hair, which you'll see later and which I'll tell you more about in a bit. But yeah, I get really perfectionist when I try and recreate characters, and I don't know, I need to figure out a way how to expect a bit less, because it took me much too long. And actually the video was 26 minutes long, and I went and I edited out a lot of this part where I was creating her face because it was just so long, and already there's so many cuts in the video. But even when I had created like a nice pair of lips and then I started working on the forehead or the cheeks or something, I would come back to the lips at a later point and change them again, which was really frustrating to edit as well. So I don't know why I did that to myself. The reason why I like working with cartoons or any kind of animated characters is because, unlike real people, there's less detail in the face, and yet the details that we do get, they're very clear. So normally there's just a couple of features that you really want to get right in order for the character to translate well. And for Aphrodite's face, I really wanted to get like a nice pouty lip shape, and I think that's also why I struggled with it for so long, because it's really hard to get like a really nice pouty lip. I actually later on downloaded a slider, but I didn't end up using it on Aphrodite because it still didn't really give the effect that I wanted to. And then another feature about her face was the mole, of course. It's not in the exact right location, but I wanted to just use any mole that I could, just to make sure it was there. And then another really difficult part was the skin color. I was really frustrated at the end of Zeus's video when I finally put the pictures from the webtoon side by side with the screenshots, and I was like, the skin color is not the same. And it was so frustrating. And then for Aphrodite, I also went back and forth quite a bit, not really sure if it should be more of like a bluish lavender tone or more pinkish. But I think this like lavender tone was quite good, although I do think that at some point later I went back and changed it again and then changed it back to this one. And then, as you can see, I had a hard time matching hair with this skin color. Obviously the EA colors are really limited in the colors that they provide, and then even my downloaded CC still didn't have the right colors. So what I ended up doing was going and teaching myself how to recolor hair, and I started creating some of the outfits, I think like the everyday look and maybe also the athletic look or something. I created a couple of them and then decided to quit, teach myself how to recolor hair, recolor the hairs that I had picked for different outfits, and then continue creating. So basically I had 2 long videos of around 1.5 hours that I had to cut together. So I hope it won't be too confusing, but at some points during the creation of her different looks, there's like a bit of a jump, and then her hair color changes, and that's basically when that's basically then after I had recolored the hair. Having recolored hair, like learning how to recolor hair, actually it made me feel like so confident that I was like, ooh, I can recolor clothes too. No, I cannot. I tried. I wanted to put a pattern on a dress and it ended catastrophically. Anyway, for her everyday look, I chose a look from episode 13, which is there's a flashback of Eros and Aphrodite meeting for a drink or lunch or something like that. And it's really cute because he asks her, Mama Bear, how are you? And she says, Baby Bear, not good. And basically that's when she tells him that the mortals are saying that Psyche is more beautiful than her. And this is already the second time in the webtoon that we see Aphrodite really hung up about the fact that somebody says somebody else is more beautiful than her. The first time is when she gets introduced and she overhears Hades saying that about Persephone. And basically she asks Eros to do something for her, to go and get revenge and make Psyche fall in love with the most ugly creature that he can find. And that basically sets in motion the whole like Eros and Psyche storyline. And yeah, that's the look that I decided to go for. It's just like a white wrap top. It's actually kind of purple pants that they're depicted at, and so I couldn't really decide if I wanted to go for black instead, like if it was just kind of colored a bit purple due to the way Rachel Smythe like uses colors, and often things are not like often things don't stay the same color really throughout a scene. But I decided in the end to go for, I guess, like a aubergine, eggplanty type color for the pants. It's not perfect. It's a little bit more into like a red than it looks to be in the webtoon, but I don't mind it so much. Yeah, finding makeup for Aphrodite was another challenge because especially the lip colors like pinks and purples were rather limited, and it gets kind of difficult to try and match them with this skin color of hers, especially because, as you can see here, so this is the lighter skin color that I said like before, and I do later on switch her back to the lavender skin color. So now I'm actually matching the lips to a skin color she's not even gonna keep until the end, but that's okay. But in any case, yeah, here you can see, so I changed the shirt. I actually ended up finding a nicer shirt, so it also has that like wrap quality, but it gives her a little bit more cleavage. And then there's my first ever recolored hair that I did. Well, now it's already gone, but that was my first recolored hair. And you can see it later. The formal look I am so excited about. I went through like all of my beautiful red dresses that I have downloaded, all of my CC. And basically I went for the look when Persephone has slept over at Eros' house after she kind of revealed her trauma to Eros, which was such a beautiful, touching, horrifying scene. The revealing, I mean, like the scene where it happens is the worst, but the revealing even, it's so emotional. And then Persephone meets all of Eros' family, and she comes face to face with Aphrodite for the first time after like this prank that Aphrodite pulled on her well, it was at Persephone's expense, even though it was targeted at Hades. And Aphrodite wears this gorgeous red gown, and it has kind of like a deep red color, so that was an aspect I was looking for. It looks Greek inspired. It has a lot of folds, a lot of fabric. It's really, really gorgeous. I think it has a bit of a train at the back as well. And it also has a slit, but I wasn't able to find a nice dress that like matched all of the criteria. And she also wears, it's not really laurel, but like a kind of flowery wreath around her head. And I really love this one that you could color kind of purple. And the dress that I ended up going for, I'm also super happy with. It met like most of the criteria that I wanted for her. And yeah, like they said, the cuts are a little bit chaotic, so it's the first time I'm doing it like this, so you'll be able to see it at the end. I'm also super excited for the party look, because that's the first look that we ever meet Aphrodite wearing. It's a two-piece. She's wearing like a kind of angular skirt. I don't know how to say that, but it's longer on one side and it's shorter on the other, and a tank top that shows a lot of cleavage and leaves her midriff bare. And I love that look. I feel like it's so iconic for Aphrodite. In the meanwhile, as you can see, I also already attributed some traits to her. I gave her the romantic trait and the self-absorbed trait, both of which are traits actually that Zeus has as well. And the one that I think sets her apart from him, though, is that she also has the nurturing trait. So she has this huge family, and although she might like be giving tough love sometimes, I feel like she really cares, and she cares about Eros. And after she finds out what happened with Psyche, she is there for him, and she also covers his back after he performs his act of wrath and is in trouble with Zeus. And we'll see two outfits associated with that instance as well. But for now, we're looking at her sleepwear, and I hope you can already tell which one it is, because we don't really see her in like a nightgown or anything, but we do see her getting lectured by Eros in episode 116, which was the season 2 premiere. As she is there with as she's there with Ares, and both of them are in a bit of a compromised position, I guess. They don't look at all ashamed or embarrassed, but clearly Eros had taken them aside to talk to them about boundaries, and they had been engaging in some role play, and I really wanted to go for that look for her. So for the hot weather look, as I just said before, I decided to go for the look that she wears in episode 69, which is the episode where she comes to help Eros as he's supposed to get punished by Zeus for his act of wrath that he performed, and Aphrodite ends up sleeping with Zeus. And the outfit she wears, it's like a pastel-y green color, and it looks a bit floral. She has like a braided a plait like just to the side, and I'm not 100% happy with my recolor of her hair. It's a bit bright, but it's good enough. For her athletic wear, I decided to go for the look from episode 32, which is when Hades first meets Aphrodite after the prank, and so we'll call it her athletic look or her run from Hades look, because she literally starts running away from him together with Ampullus/Psyche. And this is also when Hades first meets Psyche and realizes that she's a mortal disguised as a nymph, because Aphrodite wants to see if Eros can like figure out that she's actually his love that he lost. And I really love this look. I thought it had like a really athletic vibe to it, apart from the running with the shirt that's like tied at the side and her cute little side buns. And so I decided to go for like a leggings as well. And in my head, she just came back from working out together with Ampullus, or Ampalus. I don't know how to pronounce her name really. For the cold weather look, I also went for a look that has to do with her fling with Zeus. Basically, it's when we meet Ares, and Zeus comes home and he realizes that both Aphrodite and Ares are there, and Ares had just been told by Aphrodite that she had slept with Zeus, and he is really, really, really mad. Those episodes are absolutely hilarious. I love everything about it, from the way that Zeus like turns into a swan hoping that Ares won't hurt him, to the way that Ares chases him, and Aphrodite's just like running behind like, oh no. But I think really she didn't really care. And she's actually wearing this type of jacket but with a leopard print, but I didn't really have one. So I just went as close as I could to what she's wearing. Since I don't always have like the perfect look for it. But yeah, since she's wearing a jacket in that one, I thought it was like a good fit. And what I didn't mention yet before earlier is also that I gave her the world famous celebrity aspiration. It's not perfect, but I feel like since Aphrodite like wants everyone to know about her and admire her, it was kind of suitable. So I hope you enjoy these side-by-sides. I also tried out a couple of poses for the first time. So yeah, I was just kind of playing around, and it was mainly for the party look because I love that image that I also used for the thumbnail of this video. And I hope you had fun, and if you've seen my other videos, let me know which style of editing and recording the voice you prefer. And I hope you like the bonus look from episode 66. Thanks so much for watching.